It's time for NFL Week 1, baby. Let's talk a little pigskin. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we are here to talk a lot of NFL action for Week 1. As we record this, the Thursday night game is still going. Had that long lightning delay, so no recap yet of the Thursday night game. But if you are watching this before the Friday night game, the Chiefs and Chargers, that video is out now for the best bets, so be sure to check it out. But our game bets will be a little different. Our game bets videos, these ones every week. I'm going to have some more info. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But I have a quick announcement. As you guys know, the website, justabetoutside.com, it is officially live. It's a site loaded with premium tools to help you out as a bettor. That was my goal. How can I help you guys out? You can place bets directly on the site. There's 250 plus sports books for every sport imaginable. You can link your accounts right to the sportsbook account or right to the sports books that you use. Instant results, feedback, so you don't have to use spreadsheets. End of year tax help. It is all there. And there's a video also on the pinned to the top of our YouTube page if you want to check it out. The community tab in it is completely free to join, and you can follow and tail someone with the click of a button. But if you want to join and get all the premium betting tools, it's $9.99 a month, but you can get one free month if you use the promo code JABOLAUNCH, JABOLAUNCH. And also, we plan on having some betting contests later on this season, so it should be a lot of fun. But let's get into it now. And we have a dad joke to start us off. So here we go. Do you know that a belt made of watches, it's just such a waste of time? Yep. Anyways, in this video, we're going to go over leans around the league. I did not do this last year, but I wanted to kind of talk more games than just the few bets I'm giving out. They're not official bets yet. They might eventually be, or one or two of them might be. So we're going to go over some leans, and I'm going to give you my best bets. And just a quick reminder, NFL player props and anytime touchdowns, that video will be out Friday night. This is just the game bets video, sides, totals, team totals, things like that. That'll be out Friday, but we'll finish it off, of course, with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community. We got a lot of football to talk about, and that starts right now. All right, I may not have mentioned it in the intro, but of course, we got to go over the Week 1 trends. We're going to give trends out in every single game bets video this year. And as you can see, here's page 1. We kept record. If you just blindly tailed, you're 115 and 81 2 years ago and 107 and 98 last year. We'll see if I keep track again this year. Some of these in this Week 1 are not exactly right to a win or a loss, but we'll go over that in a little bit. But here we go. We got page 1, and here we go. Week 1 divisional home dogs, 23-7 against the spread since 2010. And I put the 5 teams that would go for in Week 1 just to help you guys out. And then Week 1 divisional dogs, 40, 41, and 2 straight up. That's impressive. That's 28% ROI. That's since 2010. And then underdogs are of 6.5 or more are 49 and 27 against the spread in Week 1 since 2006. That's crazy. So underdogs are the way to go in Week 1. That's New Orleans and Tennessee this week. And then road favorites last season finished the season at an insane 80 and 28 straight up. Road favorites were 8 and 28, or 80 and 28. That's wild. Now, next one. In Week 1 since 2013, totals of 45 or less. The under is hit at a 64.4% rate. And then also in that same span, totals of 41.5 or less, the under has hit in 71%, which means if the total's low, there's a reason, and under has been very profitable. Now, let's get into some individual and team ones. Joe Burrow, we all know, 1-9 straight up, 3-7 against the spread in the first 2 games of the season. From Week 3 on, 43, 22, and 1 ATS. So, like we all know, the Bengals struggle early in the year. Bo Nix, the rookie. In fact, he became the 4th rookie last year to cover the spread in 11-plus games as a rookie. He was 12-5 ATS. He was also 8-0 straight up and against the spread as a favorite last season. First time ever for a rookie. That's impressive. And then the next one, Cam Ward and J.J. McCarthy. They are rookie quarterbacks. I know J.J. McCarthy sat out a year. He didn't play, so he's still considered a rookie. But they're playing on the road versus non-rookie quarterbacks in Week 1. Since 1970, rookie QBs 8 and 21 straight up, 13, 14, and 2 ATS. Rookie quarterbacks team is only averaging 17.9 points per game. There's also been 28 number 1 pick quarterbacks since 1970 in the first start. How about 5 and 22 and 1 straight up, and 8 and 20 against the spread? That's a lot of info. All that is saying rookie quarterbacks struggle in their first start. Caleb Williams last year, They won the game, but he was horrendous in week 1, that's for sure. But anyway, some of these, should just be a part of your handicap, or maybe you just tail some of these. But it's pretty wild, some of these trends in week 1. But anyways, that's page 1. Let's go take a look at page 2 now. Kyler Murray, 15 and 17 straight up. Trevor Lawrence, 10 and 11 straight up, both as a favorite. Why do I mention that? They're 2 of only 6 quarterbacks under 500 straight up as a favorite over the last 20 years. That means they are 2 of the worst quarterbacks of all time as a favorite, straight up. Dan Campbell of Detroit, 11 and 3 ATS in September, most profitable quarterback ATS in week 1 since 2003. You guessed it, Jared Goff, 8 and 0 ATS. Lions also have the best against the spread record in a 4-year span in history. How about 47, 20 and 1 ATS last 4 seasons? You just blindly tail them against the spread. Seahawks, my Seattle Seahawks, they are 32 and 6 straight up in weeks 1 through 3 at home since 2003. That's pretty impressive. Stafford, 137th out of 137 quarterbacks last 7 seasons against the second half spread. So if you guys like to bet halves, you want to fade him in the second half. He is 40 and 61 and 3 against the spread in the second half. When he has a lead at halftime, he's even worse, 13 and 31 and 2 against the spread in that second half. Since 2022, you see it right there, 216 and 1 ATS in the second half. Again, blindly fade him in the second half, and you are rolling in the dough. Ravens are 23 and 11 to their team total over the last 2 regular seasons. That's number 1 in the NFL, or 23 and 11. I don't know if I said that, but they've been scoring a ton of points. We all know that. And now, next one in Drake May, or we got where was I? Here we go. Sean Payton, 3 and 18 and 1 against the spread in weeks 1 and 2 since his return from his suspension that he had a while back. So we always talk about the Bengals, but we don't talk about Sean Payton very much. He has really struggled early in the year. And then the last one, in Drake May's 12 starts last season, the over was 9 and 3. In fact, in his final 7 starts of last year, the over went 6 and 1 with 45 or more points scored in 6 of the 7 games. That's a lot of info. Maybe some of you guys don't like trends. That's fine. But some of this, especially as the season goes on, it's pretty useful. And like you can see by the records, a lot of it comes true. So I just want to share as much info as possible. Always fun to go over some trends as well. So that's what we got for the info for week 1. Now let's talk some leans. All right, here's a new segment we did not do last year. Again, I want to give out some leans, not just the best bets. And again, 1 or 2 of these may make the card, and maybe you like 1 or 2 of them and only tail these, whatever it is. I'm just here to go over more games, give you more info. So let's start it out with the Lions and Packers game. I think this is a bit of an overreaction. So obviously, as you can see there, I like Detroit on the money line, not even the points. In their last meeting in Green Bay last year, they were minus 2.5, and now they're 2.5-point underdogs. Have the Packers improved that much to where they're 5 points better since last year against the Lions? I know the Lions lost 2 offensive linemen. I get that. They're still going to be solid up front. Defense was incredibly injured in the playoffs. They're going to be much healthier now in this one. I get it. They have 2 new coordinators. Everyone is counting out the Lions, but I still think this is flat out the better team. Now, the Packers added Micah Parsons, adding all this intrigue to it. He's questionable, guys. He's taking injections in his back. He hasn't practiced much. If he plays, he's going to be limited. I'm not going to, at least for this week, I don't think he's just going to make some huge impact or anything. And then injuries to wide receivers for Green Bay, Jaden Reed, Wicks, Watson, all out. They're going to be relying on Romeo Doubs and rookie Matthew Golden. I don't know why I say Gordon, but people are counting out Detroit. I think they win here. Maybe you want to take the plus 2.5. Obviously, it'd be nice to get 3, but I do just think they win outright. So I like the Lions as a first lean. Again, I haven't made any of these bets, but these first couple are probably 2 of my favorite leans. But Bengals at Browns, this is disgusting. I know, it's disgusting. I may make it a best bet if I can get plus 6 for Cleveland, but right now it's plus 5.5. I know, it's Cleveland, but let's talk about it. Bengals have been horrendous the first few weeks. We already talked about it. Until I see that change, it's really hard to go back to them. You saw they lost to the Patriots in week 1 of last year. That was a terrible loss. Burrow and head coach Taylor just cannot win early in the season. Secondly, the Browns have done well versus the Bengals. And I don't mean they're beating them every time, but with 0 offense last season, they held Cincinnati to 21 and 24. So their defense has actually played pretty well. They lost by 1 score, and I think the other one was just 2 scores maybe. But thirdly, that's a word, right? Thirdly, I'm not sure I can lay this many points with the worst defense in the NFL potentially. That's right. The Bengals are, we all know it, they're awful defensively. They have a new defensive coordinator. They need to prove they can stop somebody. It is really hard in the NFL to win by 6 or more points if you cannot stop anybody at all. Now, we have Joe Flacco. He's the man. He will be quarterbacking the Cleveland Browns. He can put up points when healthy, and it's week 1. He's healthy. I think he can get the job done. A veteran quarterback back there. It's their home opener, a divisional game. I like the Browns to keep it close here, so I like them against the spread. Third one, Titans at Broncos. Number 1 draft pick starts out his NFL career in possibly the worst place you can be, on the road versus a top 3 defense. That's why my lean here is the team total under 16.5 for the Titans. Again, this is a sweaty one. 16.5 is low. But, here's the deal. Ward could end up being a good quarterback, and I think he will. But again, that takes time. It takes time for pretty much every quarterback. The weapons around him and the team around him, not ideal. Calvin Ridley, decent. An aging Tyler Lockett on the outside. Tony Pollard is your running back. And then their O-line, they have upgraded in the O-line. They added Ziegler from Detroit. He's an older veteran. Dan Moore from Pittsburgh. But the jury's still out on this group. We don't know if they're going to be, average or about as bad as last year. But they're facing the Broncos defense. Top 3 last year in yards per rush attempt, scoring defense, net yards per pass attempt. This team is loaded on all levels of defense. Surtain obviously is out there. Could shut down Ridley in this one. I just don't see the Titans' run game doing much at all here. The only risk is, say it's 37-10, and all of a sudden they're playing prevent defense. They score a touchdown and go over at the end. That would be the worry, but I do lean the Titans team total under. Next one, the 49ers at my Seattle Seahawks. This is a tough one for me, but I lean the under in the full game. I expect the Seahawks to be improved defensively. Now, I'm going to talk more about the Seahawks here because they're my team and I want to, but Mike McDonald, big-time defensive mind. Hawks went from 30th to 14th in yards allowed last year, and he has more of his guys now in this second season. Leonard Williams was huge last season. 11 sacks, along with Derek Hall, 8 sacks. First rounder Byron Murphy had an okay season. I think he's going to make a big leap here in his second year, along with Jerron Reed, who had a good year last year. So on top of a solid D-line, they drafted a Manwery. I can't say his name ever, but it's in the second round. First round safety, or he's a first round talent as a safety. Him and Julian Love could potentially be a great duo. And then Witherspoon, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Woolen, a solid number 2. So I really think this defense has potential to be pretty good this year. Now, the 49ers offense, hurting a wide receiver, just finally signed Juwan Jennings, lost Debo. Brandon Ayuk is out for a while. They're counting on Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle, and McCaffrey. And guess what? Right before recording, I heard McCaffrey is now questionable to play with a calf injury. That's going to be rough. That's going to be a rough year for him. Seahawks offense, new quarterback with Sam Darnold, lost Metcalf, lost Lockett. O-line is still looking like a problem. That's my big worry as a Seahawks fan. Darnold with a bad O-line is a little bit worrisome, that's for sure. Maybe they can run the ball decently here with Kenneth Walker if he can be healthy. Charbonnet, obviously, a good backup as well. So overall in this one, 49ers defense is a bit of a wild card to me, but I think the Seahawks defense is underrated. I think both offenses will struggle. In fact, last time they played each other, neither team reached 300 yards. So I do lean to the under here in that one. Now, the fifth lean, before we get to the best bets, Cardinals at Saints. What a game here, huh? If you watch my futures video, you know I bet on the Saints to finish with the worst record in the NFL. They suck. I mean, it is not pretty. 6 points is a pretty big spread on the road for Arizona, but I still do like it at -6 if you can get it. Saints, new head coach, new quarterback. And guess what? Both may be awful. We'll find out. But Spencer Rattler is a bottom 3 quarterback in this league. I have no doubts about that. Their main weapons are going to be Chris Olave and an aging Alvin Kamara. I think Olave is a good receiver. We haven't seen much from him because of where he's playing, but this O-line has been a problem for them, and I expect it to continue to be a problem with them. And speaking of problems, the Saints defense, 30th in yards allowed last year. They may be average defending the run, but I expect them to really struggle against the pass. They don't have many good edge rushers. Hayward is like 36, 37 years old now. He only had 4 sacks last year. Traded away Marshawn Lattimore in the secondary. McKinstry was decent as a rookie. That's about it. I mean, they've really got nothing. Arizona offense obviously comes down to, can Kyler and Marvin Harrison have a better connection this year? They have an elite tight end in McBride. Connor is still a bruising back for them. I expect Murray to run more, maybe 1 year removed from that ACL tear. And then Arizona defense upgraded the D-line over the offseason, added Josh Sweat to help the bad pass rush, re-signed some decent veterans on that D-line, drafted Nolan in the first round. And then they also drafted Will Johnson, corner, in the second round, still have Budda Baker. So with all that said, Arizona's just better on both sides. And we're going to say that a lot about any team facing the Saints. And the reason I'm kind of going over the roster, it's week 1. We kind of want to learn about these teams and all that. But this could be the start of the journey. It should be the start of the journey for the Saints for the number 1 overall pick in the draft next year because they are not good. I like Arizona to cover. You know, I know it's Arizona on the road. You have to win by a touchdown or more, but it's really a big fate of these Saints teams, or the Saints team as well. So that's what I got for my 5 leans. Again, leave any comments or some of your best bets below as well. But now it's time for the best bets. This first one takes us out to the nation's capital where the Commanders host the New York Giants. Commanders -6. Total in this one is 45.5. This one's going to be ugly. I'm taking the Giants plus 6.5. I know the line's 6 on some books, But 6.5, I got this at minus 118 on Bet365. It's going to be a half unit play. You're going to see a lot of half units in weeks 1, maybe week 2 as well. But I think the extra 8 cents is worth the half point. 6.5, big numbers there, obviously. But divisional underdogs, never a bad side to be on. And divisional games are just different. These teams know each other really well. Now, let's talk last season's meetings. Commanders won the first meeting, if you remember this game, without scoring one single touchdown. 21-18 they won in Washington, and then they won the second game 27-22 in another close game. The total net yards was 358 to 327 Commanders. Even with the Giants being awful, they kept it close. Now, I think the Giants are a little better than last year. Let's talk about their offense real quick. Daniel Jones' era is over. Russell is a slight upgrade. He is an upgrade. Let's just say it. O-line isn't great. I'm hoping Andrew Thomas plays, a key factor for the left tackle there. Interior is a question mark, but Neighbors obviously elite. You got to count on Darius Slayton, tight end Theo Johnson need to step up. Tyrone Tracy played well last year as a running back. They drafted Scadaboo as well. But this Giants defense, they could have the best front seven in the NFL, or at least top 3. I mean, it is absolutely legit. They will get after the quarterback. They just drafted Abdul Carter at number 3 overall. I mean, the best D lineman in the draft, pairing him with Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and then their leading sack guy last year was Dexter Lawrence, elite versus the run-in pass. They're going to make it difficult on Daniels, just like they did last year. And they signed Adaboo to shore up some help also at DB. Commanders coming off an NFC Championship game. You know I have them over total wins. But again, I'm taking it week by week here on these bets. Can he avoid the dreaded sophomore slump? We saw Stroud have a big-time sophomore slump last year. Offense, McLaurin finally signed. He may be limited. He may play full. We'll see. He kind of sat out quite a bit. Debo's going to be a nice tool for them. They don't have much at running back, though. I mean, it's old man Eckler, and they put their rookie Krosky Merritt on like the 3rd or 4th string. O-line could be pretty solid. They are missing elite guard Sam Cosmi, though, right now. He tore his ACL in the playoffs last year. Added Laramie Tunsil, which will be helpful as well. But the defense, I expect them to add some pieces to the D-line. Average pass rush last season. They lost Dante Fowler. They added old man Von Miller. That's not going to do it. We'll see what they get from Javon Kinlaw. So overall, again, we saw 2 close games last year. This Giants, I think, really can dominate on that defensive line with their linebackers and their D-line. They should be able to get pressure on Daniels. The key will be keeping him in the pocket, not letting him get out of the pocket and then scramble for 1,000,000 yards. But ultimately, I think we see another close game here. I think the Giants give them a scare, maybe have a chance to win it, but getting 6 or more points in a divisional game is quite a bit. So give me the G-Men plus 6.5 as my first best bet. All right, this next one takes us out to Atlanta, Georgia, where the Falcons host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks minus 1.5. Total is 46.5. Another divisional game. I'm taking the over 46.5 in this one. Minus 116 on DraftKings for a half unit. I do lean Falcons on the side here, but I like the over more. So let's talk about their last season's head-to-head meetings. Final scores 31-26 and 36-30. That's right, 57 and 66 points, blowing this out of the water. I think we see more of that kind of game here. Falcons games with Penix at the end of the year ended with 54 and 82 points. It's a lot. Defenses, I do know that both teams are missing their best or their offensive lineman. Their best one, McGarry for Atlanta, Tristan Wirfs for Tampa Bay. Not ideal, but still 2 strong O lines. Both teams may struggle to rush the passer. Bucks did add Hassan Reddick. He had kind of a down year last year, injuries and everything. But last year, the Bucks blitzed at the 3rd highest rate, and they couldn't get much pressure without blitzing. So it's one of those things. Obviously, you want to get pressure when you're not blitzing as well. But Falcons, 8th lowest pressure rate, 2nd fewest sacks in the NFL. They did add some pieces. Leonard Floyd, 33 now, but or added 2 first-round edge rushers. They're just rookies right now. Secondaries, Bucks drafted some guys, but again, this is a weak part of this defense. Morrison and Parrish, rookies. You can't count on rookies right away. Corner was a big weakness for them. And then Falcons, Bates is elite at safety. We know that. Outside of A.J. Terrell, they struggle on the outside as well. So these defenses still have some work to do, in my opinion. And the offenses, 2 explosive ones. They are loaded with talent in the skill positions. We're talking running backs, Bucky Irving and Bijan Robinson, wide receivers, Mike Evans, Emeka Ibuka, which if you don't know, he's an elite route runner. He's going to be good this year. Drake London. We saw Kyle Pitts get going a little bit with Michael Penix at the end of last year as well. Baker Mayfield, one of the best quarterbacks in the league last season. Obviously, Penix is a wild card, but I do like what I've seen there. I think Kirk Cousins was holding this offense back last season. So I think we're going to get some chunk plays. Again, we're in a dome in Atlanta. This should be one of the higher scoring games of the weekend. I love this one. Give me the over 46.5 as my second best bet. All right, this third one is an alternate team total parlay. I know, sounds like baseball, right? But minus 116 on DraftKings for a half unit. Give me the Jags team total over 20.5 and the Jets team total under 23.5. Let's start with the Jags over 20.5. Their actual team total is set at 25.5. I'm going below the key numbers in football of 24, 23, 21, and now they're facing the Panthers defense. Here's the deal with them. Carolina allowed every single opponent but one to go over 20.5 points last season. That's it. It was the G-men that went under against them. 17 out of 18. Pretty good hit rate there. Defense did not do a ton to improve, honestly. Derek Brown was out, so he should be back, which will help. Last season, they finished dead last in points and yards allowed, dead last in these following categories. Pressure rate, rush yards allowed, along with those yards and points. I mean, it is absolutely terrible. And the rush yards allowed was not even close either. They added some edge rushers, but a lot of wild cards. Patrick Jones could be a nice overall piece for them. J.C. Horn is really the only good player in the secondary, and even he had kind of a down year last year. It doesn't help when you have zero pass rush, so it's hard to cover guys forever. And then Jaguars offense, in my opinion, big boost with Liam Cohen running the show now. Offensive mind, good results in the preseason. You saw Trevor Lawrence; he looked pretty good. We'll see more of Tank Bigsby. Finally, he's should be playing more than Travis Etienne, in my opinion. They drafted Travis Hunter, which will help a little on defense in the DBs, but he'll also help be in a dynamic duo at wide receiver with BTJ. Brenton Strange, a decent tight end there as well. We got good weather in Jacksonville here in September. I thought about the over in the full game on that one, but I'm just going to take the Jags. They should easily get to 21 or more. That's my first leg. Second leg, Jets team total under 23.5. Their total is like 17.5 right now. I'm taking it all the way up again past the 20, the 21 numbers, and the 23. But let's talk the Steelers defense first. They have a top 10 defense every year. Give up just 20.8 points per game last season. Here's the deal with them. We've said it before last year. When TJ Watt is healthy, they can be elite. With Watt last season, 8-2 with the sixth best pass defense EPA. Without TJ Watt, 1-6, 30th in pass EPA. It is insane the impact he has. They drafted Derek Harmon to eventually replace Cam Hayward as he's getting older. Added Darius Slay at corner to go with Jalen Ramsey. Again, not the same players they always have been, but still two solid veterans. They just need Joey Porter, Sutton, those guys to step up. But Jets offense, this could easily be a bottom three offense. It's not good. It's with first of all, the head coach is defensive minded, not offense. Pairing him with Justin Fields could get ugly, in my opinion. He is consistently a quarterback that just looks at one read and he's done, and he takes off because he's not a guy who wants to read the field, and that's not going to do well, especially when you're facing really good defenses. The weapons he has, Garrett Wilson, not much else. Breece Hall isn't very happy. It looks like Braylon Allen might take over running the ball more there. Offensive line already missing Vera Tucker, counting on rookie first rounder Membu as well. So I think this offense plays conservatively, just tries to not make mistakes and try to rely on their defense and run game. Getting to 24 points for Justin Fields in this team in a total that's like 37 right now, 38. It's just, I can't imagine it here. So I like the Jags team total over 20.5. Give me the Jets team total under 23.5. That together is my third and final best bet on the video. Again, I may add a play. It might be one of those leans, maybe two. But if I do, it will be in the pinned comments below on X, Discord, on the website, just at betoutside.com as well. So that's what I got for all the info. Before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, those are my three best bets so far. Giants plus 6.5, minus 118 for a half unit. Over 46.5, Tampa and Atlanta for a half unit. And then the alt team total parlay, Jags over 20.5, Jets team total under 23.5. Again, these are just all the game bets. The player props and anytime touchdowns will be in the Friday video. I can't wait for that one. That's my favorite one every year. There is a ton of player props to go through before that one. But that's what I got for my best bets, the trends, the leans, everything you need. Again, leave a comment below. Let us know your best bets, parlays, whatever you got going on. But thank you guys so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Hit that like button if you haven't already. But enjoy week 1 in the NFL, and we'll talk to you soon.